Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the channel. So I am so freaking excited for this episode because we're finally going to be diving into human design. If you guys are an avid listener of my podcast and this YouTube channel, you will know I am so incredibly obsessed with human design because it has absolutely changed my life. So I have been holding off on doing this episode for quite a while because number one, I wanted it to be the right time. I never want to force any kind of information or anything that just isn't quite the time. Like I haven't felt that response like, ooh, yes, okay, yes, now I want to do it. And also I initially wanted to film this episode with a human design teacher, like someone who specializes solely in human design. But I didn't want this episode to be so freaking like educational and heavy and like textbook. I want this episode to really be like a good, solid understanding of like the foundational basics, because I know a lot of people don't even really know what human design is. Maybe you've Googled it from me mentioning it, but you're still like, I don't really get it. So that's what this episode is gonna be about. So not to fret, I'm gonna break it down in very like a simple way. And this episode is really gonna help you to understand how it is that you can use your unique human design type to really truly create like that soft, feminine, successful lifestyle it is that you want to create for yourself. So we got a lot to cover. So inside of this episode, I'm gonna be walking you through the 5 main human design types. There are 5. I'm going to be walking you through like the 2 main things that you need to know right now if you have like a very like little to no insight or information or previous experience with human design. I'm gonna walk you through like the 2 main things that you need to know to hit the ground running, get started experimenting, get started trying different things out. And then at the end, I'm gonna walk you through some of my client examples, how I use this with my clients to really enhance their businesses, their relationships, so you guys can really start understanding how to really infuse this into your life. Okay, so I have been studying human design for about 6 or 7 years now. And I truly believe that human design is one of those things where you really have to let it like soak in and marinate, which is another reason why I wasn't too pressed to like rush and record something, because I love sharing from something that I have truly like studied and diving deep into and let it marinate and soaked into my body, and really coming from a space where my body understands it and not so much spitting out information to you guys, okay? So what is human design? What the heck is it? What is it? So the definition of human design is basically a unique system that incorporates I Ching, the chakras, if you know about the chakras. It incorporates astrology, it incorporates genetics and quantum physics. And it was created and designed to help you to understand your individual blueprint. Now, there's a lot of like personality tests, and sometimes people can group human design because you have to figure out what your unique design type is. A lot of times people will kind of group human design into like those like personality tests, but it's not that. What I have found from my experience is that personality tests, things like Myers-Briggs, if you guys are familiar with those types of tests, they more so focus on like learned behaviors and mind, whereas human design really takes into account like your unique genetic makeup, like how you were designed to operate and move from birth. Without the conditioning, without the programming, like how you are designed, what you were placed here to do, that's what it was designed for. So this is why I absolutely freaking love it, because when you start implementing your human design, it's really just getting back to how you are supposed to operate. And when you are operating how you are supposed to be operating, that's how you're gonna live your most successful, most abundant, most prosperous, most soft life, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And where a lot of us run into issues is that we have all been conditioned to operate as one way. We've all been conditioned to, if you want to do something, get up, get moving. It's not going to be handed to you. Go out there, get the thing. And for the majority of people, we're not designed to operate that way best. All right, so that's what we're going to be diving into. So there are 5 human design types. There are projectors, manifestors, manifesting generators, and reflectors. So before you dive into the rest of this episode, definitely go ahead and figure out what your human design type is. And you can figure this out by just typing in human design chart on Google, typing in your information. You're going to need your birth time. That's going to be really important. And once you figure that out, then just come back to this episode and then it will make more sense. So what do each of these human design types mean? So let's go ahead and start with generators. So the reason I want to start with generators is because the majority of the population are generators. About 70% of the population are generator types. Now this is split up between manifesting generators, and we'll get into the difference between those two because they're very similar. So generators, like I said, they make up about 70% of the population, on their own about 40%. And when I think about a generator, and I'm gonna speak a lot from personal experience, clients that I know, friends that I know, people that have these energy types. So when I think about a generator, generators have this very grounded, open, enveloping, just magnetic aura. And they have this spark about them. You can't help but to look at them. It's just whoa, oh my goodness, who is that? Generators have this beauty about them. It's wow, I just want to be around their presence. But the main difference between a generator and a manifesting generator, I have found, is that generators tend to be more grounded. Generators tend to be more on a path of mastery and consistent. So generators, you'll find that they will stick to something and master the hell out of it and pretty much stick to that thing for quite a while before they move on to something else. Okay, so that's the generators. Let's get into manifesting generators. So a lot of times when people hear manifesting generators, it sounds like it is you're a manifester and you're a generator, and then you just pop those two together. But manifesting generators are actually a subgroup of generators, not a subgroup of manifestors and generators and then you smush them together. It's more so, they're more similar to generators. So the way how I describe a manifesting generator and how you're going to be able to tell the difference between the two is manifesting generators have this it's this bubbly pop of energy, and you'll get the same kind of effect as a generator where it's oh my gosh, this person has such open, enveloping aura. I love their energy. You'll find yourself saying that a lot about manifesting generators, is that, oh my gosh, I love that person's energy. I just want to be around them. When I'm around them, I just feel so excited and this burst of energy. That's how you can tell the difference between a generator and a manifesting generator. So manifesting generators make up about 30% of generators. Generators as a whole make up, again, 70%. And manifesting generators are designed to basically create efficiency. So manifesting generators, they want to figure out the fastest way possible to get something done. How can we cut some steps out? How can we skip some things so we can get to where it is that we want to go in the fastest amount of time? So I am a manifesting generator. I can personally vouch for this myself. But yes, that is the main difference between a generator and a manifesting generator. And we'll go a little bit deeper in a few. Manifesting generators tend to move on quickly to a lot of things. Manifesting generators tend to have a lot of interests, a lot of hobbies, and a lot of times they don't often complete things to like completion like a generator would. They're designed to test things like, oh my gosh, like I have this interest to try, I want to learn how to roller skate, I want to learn how to take salsa classes, I want to learn how to make pottery, and they'll go way deep, like dive way deep, master it very quickly, and then move on. They're like, I've got what I've needed, on to the next. So we'll talk a little bit about how you can use that to your advantage in a little bit. The third type that I want to get into are projectors. Now, projectors make up about 21% of the population, so a whole lot less than generator types. And when I think about a projector, the projectors that I know in my life, their energy feels very like wise, right? You'll know someone is a projector. It's almost like they have this quiet energy about them, but it's like, wow, that person's energy is just like very powerful. That's like the best way I can describe being in the presence of a projector. They don't have to say much, but you will instantly notice their like powerful presence. Projectors are incredible at being able to see the other energy types very like deeply. I love me some projectors. I love a projector. Projectors and manifesting generators go together so well because the projector is able to see the manifesting generator so incredibly deeply and give them insights that they may not have access to on their own. So again, projectors have just like a very intuitive, like wisdom energy about them, where they're able to see people, places, systems very clearly and deeply, and able to give very incredible insight to those things. I love me some projectors. The fourth type are manifestors. Now, the way how I have experienced manifestors are they march to the beat of their own freaking drum, okay? Just like naturally, their energy almost feels like fiery. Like they feel so incredibly sturdy, and they're like, this is what I'm doing, and they charge full force ahead. Now, manifestors only make up about 8% of the population, so it's even less than projectors, right? Only 8%. So manifestors are the only design type that is here to initiate, here to be self-starters, here to, yep, I want to go ahead and do this thing, and then go ahead and do it. All of the other design types have been kind of conditioned to operate in a very similar way, whereas manifestors are actually designed, this is like their natural strength. And so when we allow a manifestor to do them, they shine so incredibly brightly. And the fifth and final human design type are reflectors. Now, reflectors make up only 1% of the population. 1. So it is pretty rare to come across a reflector. I have come across a few, and let me tell you how their energy reads. Reflectors, they call them almost like the temperature checks of society, systems, organizations, whatever they're a part of. If you want to know the health of whatever it is that you're a part of, if you want to know how it's actually doing, go ahead and ask the reflector of the group. The way how I have experienced a reflector is they are incredibly insightful, incredibly deep, and they can go to a depth and almost be like such a deep mirror and ask you like the really deep questions that are really gonna have you thinking about, wow, is this how I want to like move forward in this way? Is this what I want to do? Is how I've been living and operating how I actually want to be living and operating? This is my experience. Again, very, very, very rare types. But the main thing that I will say is when a reflector really owns their reflectiveness and really owns that they are so incredibly unique and just owns that, unfreaking stoppable. And they bring society, they bring about a certain kind of change that can only be brought by them. So this is my experience having dealt with reflectors. So I want to get into the two main things that I really want you to know about your human design type. Like, learn these two things, take it, run with it, practice it, let it marinate, see what works, see what doesn't work for you. These are like the only two things that you need to get started. So the first thing is, what is your strategy for your unique human design type? Meaning, when you operate in this way, this is how you will get the best outcome, the best results in your life, in your business, in your relationships, whatever. The other thing that I want you to know is your profiles. This is what distinguishes one generator from the next generator, one reflector from the other reflector. So this is where it starts getting into like that individuality, that uniqueness. One generator is not the same as another generator. So you and your girlfriend might both be generators, but you guys might have a different profiles and your energy will show up kind of different because of those things. So let's start with your strategy. How should you be operating, moving, making decisions as a generator? So we're starting from the top. So generators and manifesting generators have the same exact strategy, and that is to wait to respond. Now, when I first learned this, like my strategy was to wait to respond, I didn't get it, because I had all of this energy to just go and start doing things. But the more that I got deeper into my practice and deeper into my mastery of human design, I really started to understand what this shift was and how incredibly different it felt and the kind of results that it created. So before, I used to initiate everything. If I thought about an idea, I would go ahead and muscle my way through, make it happen, see it all the way through. And yes, it got results, but it took a lot of energy. It took a lot of brain power, okay? When you are operating in your strategy, which is to wait to respond, meaning that you are here to literally flow with life. Get up, go about your day, and literally respond to the day moment by moment. When you get this feeling of, oh my gosh, I want to go to that coffee shop. I haven't been there in a while. And then you go to the coffee shop and then you happen to meet a new friend. You're talking to said friend and they're asking you questions about your business. They're asking you questions about a project that you're working on. And they're like, hey, I've actually really admired this thing about you. How about you do a class on that? Like, I would love to learn more about that. Then you're like, oh my gosh, like I would absolutely love to do that. Waiting to respond. I am waiting. You are waiting as a generator and a manifesting generator. You are waiting for something outside of your brain, right? Whether it be a person, whether you see like an ad on your social media, whether you are just operating in day-to-day life and something sparks like you see something and it sparks an idea, or somebody asks you a question, or people are DMing you, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about this? Waiting to respond versus initiating. Initiating looks like, oh man, okay, I've got to come up with another business idea. Okay, let's sit down and hammer it out. Let's try to figure it out. I'm feeling blocked. Let's try to figure it out. That's initiating. Waiting to respond would look like, I'm feeling a little bit stuck right now. Okay, let me take my foot off of going so freaking hard, pedal to the metal. Let me take my foot off a little bit, indulge in the things that bring me joy, bring me pleasure, start responding again to life. You know what? I want to go for a massage today. Let me go ahead and book a massage. You know what? I want to buy a nice outfit today. Let me go ahead and buy a nice outfit. And you'll notice by doing those things, you have freed up this almost like stronghold that you have over the thing. You have freed up your energy again. And remember, as generators and manifesting generators, you have this open, enveloping energy. Like when you are lit up as a manifesting generator and I don't mean lit up like, oh my gosh, yes, everything is well. But when you are just moving through life of like, all right, life, let's do our thing. Let's dance. Your energy feels so incredibly open, and your manifestations, deliciousness will naturally want to come to you because, again, your energy, when you are open, it feels like a magnet. It feels like a magnet naturally. Okay, so if you are ever feeling stuck, try taking your foot off of the pedal. Stop banging your head against the wall, trying to figure it out with your mind. Loosen up a little bit. This is something that I recommend to my generator clients and manifesting generator clients all the time. When they get into those spaces, I'm like, hey, you need to go book a nice, beautiful vacation where you can, again, loosen up that energy so that things can come to you, so that you can respond to it. That is how you operate best as a manifesting generator and generator. All right, for projectors, your strategy is to wait to be invited. Wait to be invited. Now, I have a little bit of a different take on this. Traditionally, what wait to be invited means is that you're literally sitting and waiting for someone to like invite you into the thing. And I want to give you a different perspective, if you are a projector, on how you can increase the invitations. The way how I see projectors when they're operating in like their full-on projectorness is they are in this like rich energy. When projectors are really truly like in their essence, in their flow, they have this rich energy. They're not screaming, they're not yelling, they're not frustrated, like, hey, pick me, like, why aren't you picking me? Why aren't you picking me? Like, come on. They are just living their life, doing them at such a high frequency that people can't help but to be like, oh my God, who is this? Like, what are you doing? I need to just be in your space. I need to like get some of what it is that you're doing because wow, oh my gosh. Again, the energy, it just feels incredibly rich. When I think of projectors, I think about almost like this like royal energy. So if you are a projector, like play up in that, increase that. Stop worrying about, oh, people aren't seeing me. Like I'm giving people all these insights. I'm giving people all this free advice. I can see things so clearly and deeply, and I'm trying to give people this insight and this knowledge, and they're not taking it. Take a step back from that and almost start to just be an embodiment of this like rich royal energy, and naturally people will come to you and buy the thing, do whatever it is that you want them to do. I have worked with a few projector mentors, and the way how I can describe their energy is they are just being rich. Again, they're not yelling, they're not screaming. It's not a, hey, pick me, come over here, work with me. This is why I'm so awesome. They are just in their mastery. And I am so incredibly like, oh my gosh, that is so hot. I want your mastery. I want your insights. And I will go and seek out the thing. They don't have to come and, hey, I think this would be perfect for you. They don't have to do any of that. And it just feels so good. Like, it feels incredibly empowering to be in the essence of a projector when they're truly living their design. So again, your strategy as a projector is to wait to be invited. But you can increase those invitations by operating in your queenly, royal energy. Be up here and allow people to rise up and meet you there. All right, manifestors, your strategy is to inform. So like I was saying before when I was discussing manifestors are the only design type that can go and initiate something. They don't need to like huddle up and, hey, like, what do you guys think? And like brainstorm. They don't need to do all of that. They can get the idea, get the insight, and be like, okay, yeah, I'm doing that. Here's where the informing part comes in and why it's so important. The energy of a manifestor can feel very like fiery and big. The reason you want to inform, right? Meaning that you want to inform those around you, those people that are closest to you, those people that can be possibly impacted by your decisions. And you simply just want to have a simple conversation of like, hey, so I had this idea, I'm feeling really good about it, and I'm wondering if you could provide your expertise in this way. Or, hey, I'm thinking about opening up a gym. I know you hold yoga classes. I would love to like collaborate with you. Would you like to be a part of this? So they're not waiting for that yoga person to come and do the thing so they can start the gym. They're asking that person because they would love for them to be a part of it. But if not, they're gonna continue and do the thing anyway, and they're just gonna find somebody else. So that's kind of the energy of a manifestor. Again, very fiery, self-starting energy. But a lot of manifestors can run into issues when they don't inform anyone, when they just pick up and go and do what they gotta do and people around them can feel like, okay, where is she off to next? What's she gonna do now? And it almost starts to feel like they can't feel you, like they feel a little bit detached from you. And so in order to really truly like have the best relationships possible as manifestors, and have those people around you to support you in what it is that you're doing, just simply inform, just simply have a simple conversation like, hey, oh my gosh, okay, so I'm doing this thing. You know me already. It feels so freaking good. And I wanted to have a conversation about it. Is there any like expertise that you can offer in this endeavor? It's very much that energy. So they're not asking for permission. They're not asking for permission. They're asking to see if you would like to come on board with the vision. Again, for the other design types, being around a manifestor, it is so incredibly important to allow them to have that individuality, allow them to be self-sufficient. But as a manifestor, making sure that you are informing those around you instead of just bulldozing ahead and just doing the thing and making all of these like big decisions and not informing your people about it. And the reason why this is so important is because all of the design types are designed to work together. So think about the manifestor almost like creator of the master plan. Like they're like, oh my gosh, they come to the group, they're like, guys, look at this, and they draw it all out. You guys know that meme? They like draw it all out on the whiteboard, and then they have to inform the other energy types so that the other energy types can actually help them to build the thing. Okay? For example, manifesting generators and generators are going to take that idea from the manifestor and help them to create the thing. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna make this phone call. Okay, we need to go ahead and purchase this. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that. Okay, we need to go ahead and build this. I'm gonna go ahead and hire the contractors to do whatever. Okay? Projectors are going to offer you deeper insight. They're gonna ask you some questions. They're going to look at the bigger picture. They're gonna say, hey, well, in the long run, have you thought about this and this and this? Reflectors are gonna be in the group. They're gonna be quiet. They're gonna be paying attention. They're gonna be absorbing everything. And then they're gonna say, okay, I've gathered everything. I have some thoughts. Let me think on it. And then they might come back to you with a few things, like a list of things that you may not have thought of. Okay? So again, all of the design types work beautifully together. We are designed to work together. None is better than the other. None is more successful than the other. We all need each other. The final thing we're gonna get into are the profiles. So the profiles are how you're gonna distinguish between one generator from the next generator, one projector from the next projector. This is how we all operate uniquely. Okay? So profiles will look something like numbers. So it's gonna be 2 numbers, and it'll look something like 1/3, 6/2, 4/6. There's 12 different combination of those numbers from 1 to 6 that will let us know how you operate uniquely. So these 2 numbers represent your personality type almost. So the first line represents your conscious personality, what you know yourself to be as. The second number or line describes your unconscious personality. So what people see in you that you may not see in yourself quite yet. So let's start with line 1 and what that means. Line 1 is called the investigator. So when you have 1, if you're a 1/3, if you are a 5/1, the 1 again is the investigator. So people with the 1 tend to want to like dive very, very deep into things. They want a deeper understanding of what it is that they're learning, what it is that they're studying. They have such a thirst for knowledge. They just want to learn. So this is line 1. Line 2 is called the hermit. So when you have this 2, so this could look like 6/2, this could look like 2/4. The 2 is called the hermit. So people with 2 tend to need a lot of alone time to really restore, nurture themselves, gather insights, gather, deeper understanding of things in like their own little bubble, in their own cocoon, to nurture their unique talents, to really like rejuvenate their soul. And so I absolutely love knowing like what my friend's human design is, what my family's human design type is, what my partner's human design type is, what your children's human design type is, because this really paints a picture of certain things that we may do and there's no explanation for it. I find a lot of times that human design points directly to these things like, oh, okay, this is why I like need to go and retreat. This is why I feel such a deep need to kind of like, after I've spent a lot of time around other people, I just want to kind of like be in my own space. I want to be in my own zone and do my own thing for a little bit, rest, recover. Okay, so that's line 2. Line 3 is called the martyr. So when you have a line 3, so this could look like 1-3, this could look like 6-3. So the 3 is all about learning through experience. If you have a 3 in your profile, you are here to trial and error, test things out, do the thing, show the process, show people what it is that you're doing. Hey guys, come along with me to start this journey. You create such incredible value to the people around you just by them seeing you going out and trying the things. Line 4 is called the opportunist. So if you have a 4 in your profile, this is all about creating like a strong network. Your people are your people. You're not here for everyone, but when you're here for people, you're really, really here for them. So as a line 4, you are designed to really like impact your soul tribe, like the people that you really mess with. Those are the people that you influence very, 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 very strongly. A lot of your opportunities are gonna come from your network, from your friends, from your family, from people that you're meeting, that you're having conversations with. A lot of your opportunities are gonna come from there. Line 5 is the heretic. So the heretic is pretty much the same as line 4, but except they are here to be like influential on like a wide, big scale. They're here to influence the masses. They have very strong, influential energy. People tend to just gravitate towards them very easily. It's very easy for them to, pull in strangers. There's just very easygoing kind of energy, which makes it easy for the masses to kind of like cling on to that and be like, oh my gosh, yes, I like you. And line 6, I like to look at line 6 as like the wise grandmother. So the interesting thing about line 6 is that up until you're 30 years old, you're actually a line 3. So let's say that your profile is a 4-6, right? Before you turn 30, you're actually a 4-3. So you haven't quite gotten to the wise grandmother stage yet. Your energy is more so presenting as this is someone who is, has a lot of bravery, a lot of courage. They're trying a lot of things. They're testing a lot of things out. They're, stumbling a little bit here. But in time, guess what? You're gathering that wisdom through that experience so that when you do, go through your Saturn return, you're 30, then this energy starts to present as a 6, which is very much like wise. I want to know what it is that you're thinking. I want to know your insight. And again, this is all developed through personal experience. You actually having gone out and done the things so that you can teach from that space. I am personally a 4-6, and I have actually gotten confused a lot of times for being a projector because that's 6, that wise aspect, that insight, that knowledge, it can come across as being a projector, but it's actually my 6 and a couple of other things way deeper in my chart that presents the energy that way. Now, I absolutely love using human design for my clients who are business owners, entrepreneurs, content creators, because it is such a great way to be able to create content, to create a business plan, a business strategy that is designed for you. So many times we create business structures and businesses and content from these blueprints, from these cookie cutter things that people have already done. And even though it might create results, what I have found is that a lot of times it's not sustainable because it's not unique to your specific design. So I absolutely love diving into my clients' human design charts, especially in my 3-hour intensives, where we are really getting clear on what it is that they are stepping into next, getting crystal clear clarity on what it is that they actually want to be doing. Because that's the first step in living your life by design, is being honest about the things that are working and are not working. Second thing is that we can actually start diving deeper into the root of conditioning, programming, things that you have placed on yourself, right? Beliefs that you have placed on yourself or that you have learned from others that you have taken on, whether it be, I have to work really hard in my business, I have to be posting every single day to get results, I have to have this fancy website in order to get clients, all of these limiting beliefs that put us in this place of, again, feeling not enough and feeling limited. We can actually get to the root of those blocks and clear them out so that your energy can start being presented uniquely, so that we can actually create a plan that is designed unique to you and will actually work because you're operating in your natural design and in your natural energy. You're taking off somebody else's cloak. You're taking off somebody else's words and how they do things, and you're operating as you. And when you operate as you, that is so damn magnetic, no matter what energy type you are. When you are doing you, it is incredibly magnetic, incredibly magnetic. I remember a few months ago, I was working with a contestant for a pageant, and she's actually a reflector. And her energy presented so differently from the other girls. And I remember in our session, I was helping her with her modeling and her stage presence. And I remember in our session, I said, do you mind if I look up your human design type? And so when I looked at it, she was a reflector, sure enough. And I said, babe, you need not to try to fit in to how the other girls are being and dim yourself down. You need to actually shine light on your individuality, your uniqueness, your intellect, your deep thirst for certain topics and your knowledge on these certain things, and really hammer that in. And also, while still keeping it light, right? Also still keeping connected to the people, not being so far out, not being so incredibly individual that people can't get it. A lot of times, especially if you are, a projector or reflector, or whatever the design type is, depending on what your chart looks like, because that creates a whole other layer based on channels and different things. But a lot of times when our energy presents as almost like Einstein-like, we can almost feel like we're not accepted by society. People don't like us, people don't F with us, we're the black sheep, like nobody gets me. And we almost want to disconnect from our audience, disconnect from our community, disconnect from the world, and just like be in our own cave and just like nobody gets me, right? But you will do your best work if you make sure to stay connected to the people. Make sure you are communicating your things in a way that people can understand what it is that you're saying. And I have to remind a lot of my clients that are so incredibly smart and brilliant and have these like way out there like Einstein ideas. What I help them to do is actually find a way to communicate that so that people understand what it is that they're saying, so that they can actually help those people. So for my projectors, are you operating in this rich energy? Are you allowing people to rise up and meet you there? Or are you operating as a peasant? Are you getting pissed off that nobody's choosing you? Or are you choosing yourself? Are you choosing yourself, operating in that rich energy so that people can meet you there? Manifestors, show us something new, something different. Don't dim down your new ideas and your downloads. Like, don't dim that down. Don't dim that down. Please bring that out to the forefront, because it's going to give other people courage that think exactly like you or have a similar experience as you of, oh my gosh, like, nobody understands me, who can relate to that. You will impact them the most by sharing your unique ideas. Manifesting generators, show me how to get to the thing in the fastest way possible. This is my zone of genius. This is a lot of times what my clients come to me for, is I am able to help them to transform so incredibly fast in one session, in my 6-week intensives. Like, the amount of work that we're able to do in such a short amount of time is insane, because this is what naturally comes natural to me as a manifesting generator, as a 4-6 manifesting generator, as a, all of these different things that are deep inside of my chart that I'm not gonna get into inside of this video, just to keep it simple, okay? So again, if you are a manifesting generator, how can you show me how I can get to where it is that I want in a faster, more efficient way, honey? Generators, show me the foundational steps. Help me to build like that consistent, grounded energy. Help me to create mastery. Help me to understand a topic on a deep level. In terms of content, you could create series on, the 5 ways to do this. You could create your content really focusing on one specific area and going way, way deep. You will quickly demonstrate yourself as the expert in that space. And because of your open, enveloping aura, you just are so much fun to look at. You're so much fun to listen to. Reflectors, be you, and stay connected to the people. Stay connected to the people and keep it light. I know a lot of times you're thinking about all of these existential things, like you're thinking about humanity. You can see things that other people aren't seeing. Just remember to stay connected to the people. Keep it light, keep it fun, but be you. Be you. Don't lose that depth. I love, love, love your uniqueness. All right, my loves, that is it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to dive deeper into your human design chart and really understand how to apply this to your business, to your relationships, to your lifestyle, to just start living a more soft, feminine life because you're operating in your unique design, then you can go ahead and book in a Sovereign CEO Breakthrough Intensive. These are my 3-hour sessions where I help business owners and entrepreneurs to get crystal clear on exactly what it is that they want, looking at their unique human design chart and really pulling the pieces together and helping you to understand, okay, this is why you have this desire. This is why you've been operating in this way. These are the things that we need to take off, clear those things from the roots, and at the end, we create such a beautiful, delicious content strategy and business plan so you can step into this next level operating as uniquely you. And this is what will help to unlock next level of prosperity, abundance, and really truly living the life that you desire by design. So if you guys are interested in that, I will go ahead and leave the link down in the show notes. But other than that, thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.